Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 109. And I would love to know who all are present in this, beautiful space and which part of the world are you joining us from. So, just a quick intro of like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can get started with this live. Where, so let me give you an overview of what we do in these sessions of Wheel of Wisdom. So, we usually start these sessions with a meditation. It is around like 10 minutes and it is based upon the quote that you see when you open Insight Timer. So, yeah, so we reflect deeper on that so we can embody that wisdom so that we can integrate that wisdom into our life. And then we move on to the next part of this live, which involves like spinning a wheel. That's why I named Wheel of Wisdom. And that wheel selects a book for us. And then we open the book. We choose, I ask you guys to play a game where, you choose a number and then, we do a reading from that based on that number. So I will explain in detail when we get to each of the different, aspects of this live. But for now, I'm just, excited to get to know you. Hi, V. V says, good morning, Anisha and everyone. Good morning, V. Happy to have you here and thank you for joining from the start. And it seems like you have changed your profile picture and it is beautiful. If you are that same V that, joins us usually. Good morning, Amelia. Welcome. Happy to have you here again. A lot of you guys are joining today's live, from the start, which I am so glad, about. And to respect your time, we are going to dive in straight into the live. So, are you guys ready for the meditation? Like, are you guys settled in a quiet place? And are you guys up for the meditation to meditate on today's quote of Insight Timer? Oh, okay. You are same me. Okay, wonderful to have have you be as you are. Sam says, "Good morning, beautiful people from Lake Forest, California." Oh, beautiful. Welcome, Sam. I hope that you receive whatever it is that you need from this session, and everyone, not just Sam. Amelia says, yes, my first time being on time. Then I'm excited, what you're going to gain from joining from the start of this meditation. So V says V is ready for the meditation. What about you guys? Are you guys ready as well for the meditation? You can type ready in the comments or you can just, tap the hearts, heart option. So I get to know that, yeah, you are ready. Okay. And I'm going to just take a sip and we will begin with the meditation then. Okay, beautiful. So Amelia is ready as well, and we have got some hearts. So let's begin. Allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down. Whatever your body needs right now. And as you settle into this posture, if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close, or alternatively, you can choose to lower your gaze So you can look downward at the floor in order to limit any visual distractions. Allowing your forehead to soften, your jaw to relax, your shoulders to drop down, and your hands to rest either in your lap or on your knees. And allow yourself to take a slow, easy breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth, inviting a little bit more ease and relaxation with each breath as you return to your natural pace of breathing. Today's meditation is inspired by a quote by Leo Tolstoy that goes like, seize the moments of happiness, love, and be loved. That is the only reality in the world. All else is folly. So, as you let these words settle deep within you, bring to your mind one simple moment of joy or happiness, either from today or last week, or maybe something else that happened in the past which made you feel happy or joyful. So bring a simple moment like when you smiled or received a kind word, or perhaps when you felt the warmth of the sunlight on your face. Allowing yourself to feel how you felt in that moment, letting those feelings rest in your heart, and as you feel all the feelings that that moment brought in, that simple thing made you feel, sense how love and joy already exist here, right now. So let everything else fade away into the background for the next few minutes and simply notice this joy and love present within you, not outside, not in some distant future, but right now within you. And as you let these beautiful feelings fill your heart, allow yourself to let this wisdom sink deeper using some affirmations so that you can affirm this truth in your life for you. So, I invite you to either repeat silently or out loud after me. I am worthy of deep and genuine love. I am worthy of deep and genuine love. Happiness flows to me in simple, everyday moments. Happiness flows to me in simple, everyday moments. I allow myself to be loved exactly as I am. I allow myself to be loved exactly as I am. I cherish the beauty of this very moment. I cherish the beauty of this moment. Love flows to me and through me with ease. Love flows through me and to me with ease. Joy and love are the deepest reality of my life. Joy and love are the deepest reality of my life. Everything I truly need is here in this moment. Everything I truly need is here in this moment. You did great. And now know that you're going to carry this calm and these affirmations into the rest of your day, ready to notice and seize the moments of happiness and love that are already waiting for you. So let's end this meditation. Let's end this meditation with a slow, deep breath in through your nose and a long, peaceful breath out through your mouth, letting go of this practice, knowing that happiness and love are always available, not as some distant goal, but as living truths within you. So, allow yourself to come back to your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers, becoming aware of the environment around you. And whenever you feel ready, allow yourself to gently open your eyes. Noticing the things around you. Coming back to the space. Welcome back. If you feel called to, I would love to hear about your experience of this meditation. And I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 109. And hi, Caitlin. Welcome. You are just in time for the readings. And yeah, and that's what I was about to say that, if you're new to this, session, this live, then I want to let you know that this live is not over. We have just completed one part of this live, and there is much more left. And soon enough, we are going to dive into some wisdom and fun. And and before I do that, I want to also let you know that in case you joined late, or in case you would like to revisit this meditation, then I want to let you know that these lives are getting recorded, and we do like one meditation each live, just like we have done in this one. And I actually publish these meditations on Insight Timer on my profile as a free track. So it is available for anyone who, would be interested to revisit or to just dive in. And, so far we have recorded over 100 meditations. And yeah, I think I already have around 50 plus free meditations on my profile in case you like the guidance and you would like to you would like to try more of my meditations. And if you would specifically like to try the meditations from this series, which is Wheel of Wisdom, then let me quickly show you where you can find them. And then I will, go through the comments and move on to the next aspect as well of this live. So you can find the other meditations from this particular series by going to my profile on the home page. You can scroll down, okay? And here you will find like, at the bottom, just above the bottom, you will find the playlist section. So here I have created a playlist known as Wheel of Wisdom, Pick a Meditation. So in this playlist, the meditations that are done in this particular series are added, and I actually made a game out of it. So basically, these are instructions of the game. So what you have to do is, close your eyes, scroll through this, and keep on scrolling until you feel like, this here, my intuition is feeling called to, and just stop here and play this meditation. And by the way, this is the latest meditation that got released from the series, which is Dear Chest, Thank You. So, this is a part of another series that I did in this, live, in this Wheel of Wisdom series, like a meditation series where we offered gratitude and healing to each part of our body because we rarely appreciate it. So, yeah, if you are interested in that or any other meditation from this Wheel of Wisdom series, you can, check out my profile. And if you're new to me, I would love for you to follow me so that you get notified when this particular meditation gets released. Okay, so let me get back to the comments before we move on to, the game. So Caitlin says, I joined in the middle somewhere. I very much enjoyed the part where you told us we did a great job after the affirmations. That always gives me the warm fuzzies. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. You gave me this feedback, I think, on some past meditations. So, I try to include that part whenever I remember it. So that's why I say, if whenever you guys go through a meditation, whether in the live or whether through a track of mine, and when you like leave a feedback or a review, then it helps me understand that what you like, and I try to do that more. So, yeah, thank you, Caitlin, for that previous feedback and this one as well. I'm glad that, you felt those warm fuzzies. And I thought of you when I saw today's code, so I'm glad to have caught what I did. Oh, you are so sweet, Caitlin, and I'm glad that, you were able to catch on to it, at least towards the, affirmations part. Leslie says, thank you for the simple and lovely meditation. Jumped in just in time. Thank you, Leslie, for leaving such a beautiful review. And I'm glad that, you liked it. Yeah, it is simple, and simple practices always are the easiest to do, and hence they make the biggest impact. So, um, hmm. So now let's move on to the next part of this live. which is spinning the wheel of wisdom. But before that, I'm going to take a sip of water to hydrate myself. And I invite you guys to do the same, hydrate yourself. Okay. So let me show you guys the wheel of wisdom. So, this is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books right now. And these books have been, you know, chosen out of the many books that I've read in the past 8 or 9 years in my own journey of transformation. And these are some of the most, amazing books that I found. And what we are going to do now that we are more centered and grounded after the meditation, we are going to spin this wheel, and through this wheel, the universe, God, divine source, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, basically whatever you believe in, is going to choose a book for us, a name of a book for us to receive some wisdom from, you know. And before I spin the wheel, I invite you guys to take a moment and think, is there anything specific in your life that you would like to receive some guidance on? So, is there something that is, going on for you? A specific area of your life in which you would like some direction, clarity, or if there is nothing specific, then simply set an intention that may I receive some general guidance for today. So once you have thought of something, whether you are setting an intention or going for something specific, once you are done, let me know in the comments by typing done or something else, or by pressing the heart somewhere here. So I get to know that, you have something in your mind, and then we can spin the wheel. Okay. Okay. Thank you, V. We have thought of something. Ah, I love that. By pronouncing your name, it was like we all have thought of something. Okay, Eve is done as well. So I'm assuming, like, almost everyone have thought of something by now. And if not, if you need more time, you can say so in the comments. Hmm. Okay. Seems like everyone is, have thought of something. Then, whatever it is, hold that in your mind as we spin this wheel. Hmm. Okay. So, the book that came for all of us is Radical Acceptance, Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha. And this book has been written by Tara Brach. It is one of my favorite books. So, let's see, what wants to come through this amazing book. And, okay, give me a second to choose some numbers so then we can play a game. Um, Okay. So, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers. And for anyone who is joining us for the very first time, the instruction is to not rush at all. Instead, slow down and see which number are you feeling called to. And then mention that in the comment. And then I'm going to go through all your numbers and choose a number that I am feeling called to intuitively. So, in this way, we will get to, tap into that collective wisdom to receive the message that wants to come through for each of us based on whatever is going on in our life, whatever we need to hear most. Okay. So, I invite you guys to choose a number between 13 to 240. Thank you, Fedora, Melena, Emilia, Caitlin. Caitlin, today you chose a different number compared to your usual ones. Thank you, Frank, Sam, Eve. Hmm. Okay, so seems like the numbers have stopped. So let me go through these numbers that you guys have shared and then choose a number that I am feeling called to. Okay, thank you, V. By the way, Fedora, I love your name. That is such a beautiful name. Caitlin says, I did. It is a highway that I do not particularly care about, but the number came to me right away when I heard the parameters. Okay. Caitlin, usually it is like, hmm, a highway, a birthday. Okay. So very personal when it comes to Caitlin most of the times. Okay. So now going through the numbers from you guys. Okay. Oh, Fedora says, thanks, Anisha. Your name is beautiful too. Oh, thank you. Ah, okay. So, before I share with you guys the number that I am feeling called to, I want to share another reminder for anyone joining for the very first time or whoever, have been here before as well, that the number I choose do not matter as much. Because since you are here, you were meant to receive that message that wanted to come through. That's why you're here in this space at this time. So, with that said, the number that I'm feeling called to for all of us is 64. And the number has been chosen by Eve for all of us. Thank you, Eve. Kind of like the first lady. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through page number 64 for all of us. Okay, it seems like it might be related to today's, meditation, maybe. Eve says thank you. You're so welcome. Okay, so the author says the pauses in our life make our experience full and meaningful. The pauses in our life make our experience full and meaningful. The well known pianist Arthur Rubinstein was once asked, how do you handle the notes as well as you do? How do you handle the notes as well as you do? His response was immediate and passionate. I handle notes no better than many others, but the pauses, that's it. That is where the art resides. Like a rest note in a musical score, the pure stillness of a pause forms the background that lets the foreground take shape with clarity and freshness. The moment that arises out of the pause, like the well sounded note, reflects the genuineness, the wholeness, the truth of who we are. So, as I was reading this, beautiful paragraph, two things came to my mind. First was, as the author mentioned, like, we need that pause, we need that stillness in a way to highlight some other things in our life. Just like, a picture with a plain background highlights the thing that is in the foreground. So we need those pauses. And we need those pauses for survival as well because our very heartbeat have pauses in between. So there's a beginning of the inhale and we reaches the top and there's a little pause and then we exhale and there is a pause you know, at the bottom of that. So we think like the movement of the air is keeping us alive, but those very pauses help our body soak in the oxygen that is being delivered to us and just really take everything out that we do no longer need. And we often keep, you know, filling our time with things, one thing after next, one thing after next, one thing. It is so busy, so fast, all of things happening at once. And when it comes to taking care of yourselves or resting, people feel like it might be like a 1 hour nap or going for a spa retreat or something like that. But that simple pause of few seconds can make such a vast difference, in terms of giving us what we need and also allowing us to be our best in the next moment, be more efficient, um, do that next task with, you know, a more calm presence. So that pause, that stillness can impact the main activity, that you call it, that you are like, this is important and the pause is not, this is important and the rest is not. But what makes you able to do that task, what allows you to focus on the main activity, the main task with much more efficiency, effectiveness, whatever it is, are the pauses in between. So that is what came up for me as I was reading that paragraph. And you guys are welcome to share anything that came up for you, or if this paragraph or what I said resonated with you, just share away. Eve says it's in stillness we hear. Exactly. It's also the stillness, the pauses that I'm taking in between the words to make, to, for them to make sense to, in between my sentences, to allow them to sink in deeper. Because if I kept on speaking word after word after word after word, then it wouldn't make any impact. It wouldn't make sense. It would be too overwhelming. It would be too much. And we say we want to experience a full life, but that full life is not of overwhelm. That full life is, full of joy, full of happiness, full of love. And that comes to us. w- we experience that when we paused, when we, take a breath. Because if one after another good things keep on happening to you, if you hear one good news, then next, then next, then next, you wouldn't have like a time to savor it, the time to pause, to let it sink in, to allow yourself to feel whatever it is that, that good news is triggering within you. So we need that pause, whether it is in terms of dealing with the stress or whether it is in terms of letting that love or joy sink in so that we can live a fulfilling life. We can have a full life, a vibrant life. Eve says beautiful. Leslie says truly profound. So let's pause for 1 minute right now. Let's apply this. So take a deep breath in and out, and allow yourself to pause physically and mentally for next 1 minute. Okay, you did great. So, would you guys like to share that experience? Because in that single pause, a lot of things happened for me. First, I became aware of like the sound of my fan, and then the sound of my breath, and me like my saliva inhaling that, which was calming in a way. Then I looked at the time. Then I was like, let's drink water. Then I was like, okay, this pause became, let me become aware of my need right now. And then I looked again on the time. And then here we are. So that was my experience, that I went on from becoming aware of what is happening around me, within me, and what do I need in this moment, to having random thoughts, and all in just 1 minute. And I'm feeling much more still and calm. So, did anyone else also took a pause with me, or did you went on like doing some other work, thinking that that is more important than a pause? Because if so, then we caught your pattern, right? We just discussed about it, and still we thought that that activity is more important. So, unless you were doing something that you cannot pause, like driving or something. So if you weren't engaged in that kind of activity and still you didn't pause, then you see how this pattern might be running your life, that we couldn't even just pause for 1 minute. And if you did, then you can share your experience of what happened with you until I am going to meet my need and drink some water. And then we can move on to the next reading. Okay, so seems like either no one did the activity or maybe you don't feel like sharing your experience. Whatever it is. Oh, we have an experience. Okay. Leslie says, reset while birds are singing outside in the trees. Oh, I love that. In fact, I today, like, I paused in between a task and that's what I heard, birds singing. And I became like more receptive to, bird song or the chirping of the birds after, the COVID time. Because at that time, everything went like, the noise just reduced and the nature just flourished at that moment. And I was aware of a lot of birds. And since then, I am, aware of the birds when they're singing. Like my attention goes there most of the times. So thank you for that beautiful share, Leslie. Leslie says, lovely way to pause. Love the words, love the birds. They always remind me of my true spirit. Free, right? Okay, so again, and if you didn't pause, not putting you in the spotlight, but then this is a challenge for you to take a minute, set an alarm, and pause. Okay, just take that little pause and see what is your experience. You have to give this a try because whatever it is that you're seeking, and whatever it is that you need, everything will come into your awareness and you will realize with this simple practice that whatever it is that you seek or need or want, whatever it is, is right here in this moment. I know we have bought into the society's myth of that happiness is in some future, in some things, in achieving something, in doing something. And that's what we got programmed into, and that's what we are now running on by default. But I'm just asking you to not abandon that fully, but just give this a try, just see. Does this moment already has what you're looking for? Does it? And I hope that you realize the very wisdom that we meditated on, that it is. And if you need help for that, I do have like two resources for you. The first is to change that very mindset. And the name of that resource or course that might help you do that is How to Stop Chasing and Start Living, from Doing to Being. So it basically talks about, it is basically focused on your goals more of and how to shift from doing to being as well in relation to that. And it helps you reflect on your own life and realize that truth for yourself. That is this idea by society that I have bought into, is it really working for me or not? So you can, this is like my very smallest course on Insight Timer, and it is a 3-day course. So if you want, you can save it and go through it. And if you want to experience the peace, the joy, the beauty, the love, whatever it is that you're seeking in that distant future right now, if you want to experience that. So, the previous course was more about like mindset and realization, and this one is to experience that right now here. So if you want a fulfilling life right now, then you might want to try this course, which is the art of noticing how to find joy, beauty, and peace in your daily life and live like, with that wonder of a child. So, hmm, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear about like how do you find this course and what happened, what changes happened in your life as you went through these courses. So yeah, if you're interested, you can save this course as well. Okay, so now let's move on to the next reading for today. Okay, so give me a second. So again, bring to your mind whatever it is that you need, you know. So, what kind of guidance are you seeking in relation to what, or just the intention to receive some guidance for today? Again, bring that to the forefront of your mind if you haven't received a message yet that you were looking for as we spin this wheel. Okay, everything seems to flow into the next. So, this book that came up is Peace is Every Step. The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life by Thich Nhat. So the universe really want to sink this message deep, maybe by the title itself, before I even go to the reading, that peace is here in every step of yours, in every moment, in every breath. Just stop and look. I really, really want you guys to experience that, peace that you are running after because, there was a time in my life that I was running after it so bad, really, And coincidentally, this is the very book that came up that made me realize this that it is here. Everything that I'm seeking is here. I just need to notice. I just need to open myself, and my life changed from that moment. So let's see what this beautiful book have for all of us. Huh. So give me a second to choose, like give you some numbers between which I will ask you guys to choose. Okay. Robert is quick, huh? Okay. Emilia chooses Robert, is that so? Okay. A second. I forgot the number again. I have to see. Okay. Yeah. So, luckily, Robert, your number is in between those numbers that I was going to ask you guys to choose. So, yeah. Good. So I invite you all to choose a number between 20 to 133. Again, remember, no rush. I'm going to choose intuitively, randomly. Okay. So, yeah, 20 to 133. Thank you, V. A lot of flick double numbers, and we went with the same number as before. A lot of double numbers today from everyone. Okay. Thank you, Melina. Thank you, Caitlin, Amelia. Thank you, Frank. Anyone else? Okay, seems not. So I'm going to go through all the numbers that you guys have shared and choose a number that I'm feeling called to so that we all receive a message regarding whatever is going on in our life. So, so I've chosen a number. And before I share that, again, a reminder that whoever number I chooses, it doesn't matter so much because you're here. You were meant to receive that message that is going to come through. Okay. Sometimes it happens that the reading resonates with that person more, but it doesn't mean that that message is not for you. Okay. So, with that said, the number that I am feeling called to is 39, and the number has been chosen by Frank for all of us. Thank you, Frank. You were just in time. Okay, so let's see what is on page number 39. So, I think the author or the universe is trying to give us an example of how to access that. I don't know, peace, happiness, joy, wonder, awe, whatever it is in your life. So, the heading for this one is washing dishes. So, the author says, to my mind, the idea that doing dishes is unpleasant can occur only when you aren't doing them. Let me repeat this again. To my mind, the idea that doing dishes is unpleasant can occur only when you aren't doing them. Because if your focus was on your dishes, if your focus was on the very task of washing the dishes, you would, okay, let me share that. How do I put it? So the moment when you are aware of that thought that doing dishes is unpleasant is the moment when you are not doing the dishes, meaning when you are not aware of that task, when you are not fully in it, when you are not actually washing the dishes with your full attention. So that's what, like a simpler version of what the author is trying to say. So once you are standing in front of the sink with your sleeves rolled up and your hands in the warm water, it is really quite pleasant. I enjoy taking my time with each dish, being fully aware of the dish, the water, and each moment and each movement of my hands. I know that if I hurry in order to eat dessert soon, the time of washing dishes will be unpleasant and not worth living. So, it would be a moment where you are thinking about wanting something that you don't have right now. And you know the feeling, right? When you are thinking about wanting something, having something that you don't have right now, it causes a little bit of suffering depending on that thing that you want. So if you are washing your dishes and you are thinking about, I just, quickly finish this task so that I can go to my work, so that I can go to, eat dessert, so I can go back to my favorite TV show, whatever it is. So if you use that task, if you think that task as a burden, then it is going to be that for you. But if you use that task to become aware of the present moment, to become present, to pause and really take in the life that is right now. This is your life right now when you're washing those dishes. That is your life at that moment. Your life is not, the work that you need to get to or that you're really passionate about to get to, the dessert that you want to eat, the favorite TV show that you want to, catch up on. So your life is not there. Your life is here right now. And to make that moment worth living, you need to be here. And when you know, become aware of that task, when you really arrive in this moment with whatever is there in front of you, you access whatever this moment has to offer you. The beauty, the peace. In the noise of the utensils, you will find peace. You will. So just give that a try, you know, give a pause a try, give arriving in the moment and doing the task. So if pausing for 1 minute is not feasible for you, which I don't see why, but if it is for some reason, that's okay. I'm not judging you at all. But if that is not possible, then you might have, daily chores, and through that you can access that peace. Through that you can access that, I don't know, stillness, that beauty, that wonder, that feeling of fullness in your life, you know. So, so there are different ways to access that. So yeah, I'm really excited to read the comments that are coming through here. And hmm, and if you're wondering how, then I already have, shared a course with you before. Let me share it again. So this include like various ideas and guided practices to be able to make the ordinary extraordinary. So stop running after the extraordinary moments, the highs of the life, and learn how to make the ordinary extraordinary. Learn how to enjoy life, for once live your life. And and when people say that, you only have this limited time, so live your life. It doesn't mean, just going for paragliding, going for scuba diving and all of those different stuff. And why, have you ever wondered why that just brings that aliveness apart from that adrenaline rush and everything? Because you are fully in it, you observe that you are doing that for the first time, or maybe you are doing this in this particular pace, that same activity for the very first time. It is all fresh and new, your systems are open to take in whatever is happening, and you are in the moment, you are living it, you're fully in it. So you don't have to spend so many dollars, or just seek after these experiences, or go on these trips, or have this particular big thing. You can access it right now. And trust me when I say that you can, because that is all my work is. So for those of you who don't know me, um I am an aligned life coach, and I help women exactly with this. I help women who are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or dissatisfied with their current life to create a life that is deeply fulfilling to them and that is true to them. not based on some standard of society, but what is true for them, what they really want deep in their hearts that they don't even know about. So I help them, gain clarity on that, to gently release any resistance around that, and to help them take daily steps about, around it, so that they can experience it, they can taste it, that whatever it is that they want. Uh, so, hmm. And if you would like to work, I already have a lot of resources around that on Insight Timer. So another resource around how to really, arrive in this moment, how to be mindful, how to live more mindfully means how to live with more awareness, how to be more present, how to spend your, your time in this moment. Then I have another course for you, which is this one, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Mindfulness Meditation. So, apart from being a life coach, I am also a certified mindfulness meditation teacher, and I have included in this course my own story and, a lot of different ways you can deepen your practice, whether it is in the meditation room or outside it in your real life. So, if you want to start, you can, start through this course. And if you don't have premium, I would advise you to get it. And if you can't for some reason, then I have another resource for you, which includes, like, all the free tracks. So you can go to my profile again on the home page. When you scroll down in the playlist section, you will see here 21-day mindfulness meditation challenge. So it includes, all the free tracks. It is a part of like my another series that I did, a live series. So I recorded that and I put it in the form of this playlist. And in at sorry, and it actually shows you, apart from the research, benefits of mindfulness, what it really means, how it would really benefit you in your life, in simpler terms, in terms that you can see effect of, that you see in terms, that you can see the impact of. I think I'm mixing my English words. But yeah, I hope that you get it. Okay, so you can save this course if you're interested, and then I'm going to go through the comments. Um, okay, Robert says you would be in the present moment. Exactly, So Robert emphasized that very first line that I was trying to simplify or explain in like simple terms. So let me repeat that line again for, you know, since I'm reading that comment by Robert. So that line was, to my mind, the idea that doing dishes is unpleasant can occur only when you aren't doing them. So, um, Leslie says, shared this prior. I was given the task of sweeping at work, which I obviously didn't like. Then the owner took the broom and said, do it like this, sweeping your troubles away. That day really changed my perspective about sweeping. Really, aha moment. I love that, Leslie. I think, yeah, you have shared that before, but for some reason, this time it really sank in within me. So, and that's why that's why we do these lives. It's not that I'm telling you something that you guys don't know, it's more like a reminder. Or sometimes, how it's like when you read the same book again, and that time something else pop up, or when you read a quote again, and that time it really hits you. So I invite just, I try to create the space where that wisdom can land, that will resonate with someone in, in this live right now, or, who will listen to the recording. So this is that space, and I'm really amazed by this this beautiful, I don't know, advice or the statement by that owner that do it like this, sweeping away your troubles. Hmm. I'm really feeling like, okay, Anisha, you should create a meditation on that. So maybe if we get like, so instead of a quote, if we get like someday if we get like a wish or something, usually when there is a festival inside time, I'll put a wish. So on that day, maybe I will, guide a meditation on that, sweeping away your troubles. Huh. Okay, I love that. Huh. I've noted it down so I don't forget. So thank you, Leslie, for this beautiful idea. Leslie says, recommend these one-on-ones. Very nice experience for me. Thank you, Leslie. So I think what Leslie is referring to is that in case you want to work personally with me, then apart from these courses or the playlist, so if you went through all of these and you would like to work personally with me, then you can do so by again going to the about section of my profile. So when you open my profile, there are different sections. So you can go to the about section. You can, scroll down, and here, you will see like my different offerings and a way to personally work with me. Frank says, a good reminder. Thank you. I do have a tendency to focus too much energy on the to do list and thinking of what's next rather than being present and finding enjoyment with the present moment. Emilia also agrees with Frank and she says, yes, Frank, our lives are happening now. We are not aware of it. Exactly. I feel like, this whole life was just like a beautiful weave, one thing weaving into the another, just one thing flowing into the another. And I like that we got another option for the ones who really, really find it hard to pause, then to do the activity, but do it mindfully, do it with presence. And in that way, if you're having that restless energy, it will go out. But at the same time, you will get the benefit of, that meditation or that pause or, whatever you want to call that practice. So, hmm, grateful for the universe that these beautiful, practical ways came up for us today. Leslie says, I am always trying to refocus, Frank, sometimes so challenging. However, those pauses bring back the peace. Mhm. So maybe, yeah, maybe like start with a task or then go to the pause, or maybe start with the pause. Like, you know, so do not try to do everything at once, or do not try to be present with every single thing that you guys are going to do today. Because if you don't, then you're going to be disappointed and then you won't feel like doing it again. Okay, so the way to always go is to start small. And I'm glad, Frank, that since we chose your number, this really resonated with your that tendency that you mentioned. And my recommendation would be to do one task or maybe just 1 minute of that task mindfully rather than just trying to do the whole task with full awareness, because then if your mind is going to go away, then we are going to get irritated. So instead of that, just do, you know or maybe just decide to do just wash just one dish mindfully. That's it. Again, you don't need to do much. It's the being that is making the difference, not the doing. So yeah, maybe start small. That is what I'm trying to say. Robert says we need to consciously breathe and focus on what we are currently doing, the sounds and the sights and the texture. Exactly. So, so I have like, thank you, Robert, for mentioning like the specific ways in which you can be mindful for anyone who don't know or who is wondering that what does it mean to be mindful? It just means to be aware of the task that you're doing. That's it. The sound of the plate, the movement of the hands that the author mentions in terms of washing dishes, or the texture of soap or water, or if you're wearing gloves, then the temperature of the gloves, for example. If you're using a dishwasher, then becoming aware of when you're putting the plate in. Okay, so the sound when the plate gets in, the color of the plate, so no matter how you do the task, there is always a way to be mindful. And yeah, and if you would like to be guided through it, again, I mentioned that course, The Art of Noticing. In that, I have included like step by step guidance for you guys to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. We says yes, the warm water on your hands. Yes. Oh, I love that, in the winter time. When I wash the dishes with warm water, it is just so amazing. Initially, I don't feel like getting up and, getting my hands wet, but towards the end, I'm like, they are so, so warm. I just like that feeling. Okay, so, hmm, let me check the time. Okay, let me go through the comment. Leslie says, yesterday, David G was a teacher in the manifestation challenge here. Yeah, I'm also doing that. My first, uh, okay, my first. So it was Leslie's first challenge here, which is the manifestation challenge that is currently going on right now. It is a 10-day challenge if you don't know, and I would highly recommend you guys to join it. Uh, I think the first challenge that I joined was the morning one, just before this one. And the theme of this guided meditation by David G was feel it in your body. Sort of this life following the theme, following them of the last 2 days. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Things are aligning super well in this life. So, yeah, so I'm really grateful for that energy, whatever is doing this work, whatever is bringing all this alignment into the space, and for the energy of all of you guys. I am so grateful. Really, I am. That is the word that keeps on coming up, and I love the interaction today. Leslie says this is a great live for the archives. Thank you, Anisha. Thank you, Leslie. I'm glad that you enjoyed this live. Yeah, so all these lives are, as I mentioned, are recorded and everything. I cannot share more on that, but you guys can explore. I think you guys can find it. Okay, so I guess this is the end of this live. And if you guys enjoyed this live, if you found anything of value, and if you would like to support me to continue these lives, to keep the space alive, or if you would like to make a contribution so that I can create more resources, more free resources, so it is available, so the right support is available for the people that need it but can't access it. So if you would like to make a contribution towards that, or towards creating all the other gifts that I offer, then I would be grateful to receive your support. Because I say that, no matter your contribution, no matter the amount, it's the intention, the energy that you send, the love, the energy of love and abundance, because that's what ripple out and touches so many people. You don't know, you know, who all these people whose, lives, whose hearts would be touched by our donation, but they do, and they have in the past, because I keep like a separate account of all these donations and use it towards creating more gifts and free resources. Eve says, thank you so much. Thank you, Eve, for tuning in. And I, before you guys leave, I want to quickly, share all the current resources that I have, you know, so that if you are going through something in your life, I want to share these resources so that in case they resonate, you would have something to go to after this live, is ended, to, do that work, to make that change in your life. So I'm going to just quickly share all the resources that I have. So you guys can find those resources by going to my profile. Okay. And on the home page, you can scroll down. Here you will find my next live event, which is day after tomorrow. Let me share that here because I would love to see each and every one of you here in that, live event. And when you scroll even further, you will see like the latest tracks that got released. This one got released like I think 1 or 2 hours before, just this live. So the name of this one is What If I Make the Wrong Decision? So this track was inspired by one of my clients who was having a hard time making a decision. And I wanted to share, make this available for all of you also in case you are going through that, indecisive phase and you are afraid of making the wrong decision, you're overthinking, feeling stuck, all of those different things. So if you resonate, you can check out this track and the other tracks that got released from this very same kind of series is I'm Too Broken to Heal. So if you believe this, you can listen to this one, or I'm Not Good Enough. If you believe that, you can listen to that. Let me share them here quickly so that, in case you want to, you can listen to them. Okay. I think I forgot to add the latest one, but you can find it on my profile anyways. Okay. So when you scroll down, you will find like all my popular tracks here, all the popular courses here. So I also have 3 courses, these 3 courses, with over like 6,000 students, which have benefited from these courses. So these courses are around if you are having those negative thoughts, if they are bothering you a lot, and if you would like to learn how to, challenge these thoughts, change them, how to overcome these limiting beliefs and these negative thoughts. So, first, identifying the common thinking patterns that are unhelpful, identifying the limiting patterns, and the third courses are about changing it, about shifting that so that you can live a more, I don't know, peaceful life. So, yeah, if you are going through that, then you can check out these courses. And then you will find the playlist here. So, the track that I have shared in the comments and the latest tracks that got released belong to this series, which is Love Letters from the Universe. So, it currently have 4 tracks, and I will keep on adding more to it. So, you can save the playlist if you're interested. The next playlist is self-soothing techniques. So it includes basically, healthy coping strategies or emotion regulation techniques for when you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Then the third playlist I already mentioned to you, and this one also, mindfulness challenge and wheel of wisdom. Then at last, you will find here my group. It is a little community of mine known as Wonderful Beings. So, what I do here is after each live, I post a summary of that live in this group. So I mentioned the type of meditation that we did, the name of the books through which we read, and the readings that we read. So you don't miss out on anything. I also update things there, like if a new track is released or if I have to cancel a live because of certain reasons that are not in my control, then I mention it there. So it is my way to stay connected with you guys and to keep you updated with anything that is happening in my world. So yeah, I would love to have you in that group, if you guys feel like becoming a part of my community. And if not, then you can always just simply follow me and you will get notified about the next live or the new tracks. Um then let me see. Yeah. So the other section is tracks. So you will find all my tracks here and you can filter them through like other, different filters, length and everything. You will find all my courses here. So I have around 7 courses. 3 courses I mentioned, the popular ones. And the other courses are again uh the other 3 courses I mentioned in, while we were doing the live. The final one that was left is a therapist guide to accepting your difficult life situations. So, if you're not able to accept whatever is happening and you are resisting it a lot and you are feeling stuck and not able to move forward, or if you're feeling overwhelmed by whatever is happening to you, then you can check out, that particular course. So, you will find all those courses here in the courses section. And I already mentioned the next event, which you guys can join, which is day after tomorrow around the same time. And then comes finally the about section. So if you would like to read more about me, know more about me, who I am, what I do, my background and everything, you will find a little bit about me here. And if you would like to know like a lot more, like my journey, all my offerings or the special gifts that I offer, then you can find all of them here. And if you also want to work personally with me, you can, reach out here. So I guess that's it. That are all my offerings, and anything that you don't find, you can, yeah, you can always go here. Okay. So, hmm, for some reason, I am feeling like drawing a card. So I'm going to honor that feeling. And since you guys listened to me so patiently, and I hope that you did found some resource that is going to help you. And if not, and if you are going through something and would like to talk to someone or work personally with me, you can always go to, that that option in the about section of my profile. And to end this live, I am going to pick a card. Give me a second. So I am going to choose a card from here. And like this randomly chooses a card for us. So let's see what message the universe wants us to carry as we end this live. Okay, let me scroll it down. So the card is Five of Cups. The affirmation or the message is: my tender heart helps me to navigate towards my brighter future. Oh, it kind of aligns with, the latest meditation that I said I got published, which is what if I make the wrong decision? So it is kind of aligned with that. So this is not promotion, but yeah, I'm like, okay, I really would like you guys to check it out then. So again, the message is: my tender heart helps me to navigate towards my bright future. Okay, guys. So with that, let's end this, live. Thank you so much for your amazing, beautiful presence here, for the lovely hearts that you guys pressed to let me know that, to encourage me to keep speaking, and for the amazing interaction that we had today. It was just so rich and vibrant and so full. I love you guys. It was such a beautiful interaction. It was so fulfilling. And I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. Leslie says peace to all and shares a heart. Eves also shares a heart. Emilia says thank you, Anisha, with a lot of love. We says bye for now. Bye for now, you guys. And I will see you day after tomorrow in the next live. Till then, take care. And don't forget to check out the resource that resonated with your current life situation. Bye bye.